Tonight, did the CIA go too far to fight terrorism? If you answered yes, the drones are on the way. Then, standardized tests get an update. Reading comprehension will now be limited to 140 characters. And my guest, Dame Jane Goodall, has a new book, Seeds of Hope, Wisdom and Wonder from the World of Plants. Joke's on her, it's printed on dead plants.
I love the camera turns. We have to do more of that. All right, that's Stephen Colbert's act on Comedy Central, but are you going to be seeing more of him on CBS next year? Bombshell announcement. Stephen Colbert is going to replace David Letterman on The Late Show when Letterman decides to step down, and let's pick that exact date, which he has not done so. It's going to happen sometime in 2015. So let's bring in my friend and colleague, our entertainment anchor, A.J. Hammer. Your reaction to the Colbert announcement. Thank you. Well timed.
You know, I have to tell you, Mike, it was very interesting timing. I was at a big media event here in New York City when the news breaks, so obviously it was the instant buzz around the room. Everybody was pretty surprised by a number of things about the announcement. The first big question on everybody's mind is, you know, will Stephen Colbert continue to play the satirical conservative character that he plays on his show? That's not Stephen. That's a character. And I thought, well, he's a very funny, engaging, and certainly a super smart guy off camera when he's not in character, so that would actually work. Well, we finally have an answer to the million-dollar question. Just before I hopped in here, I reached out to Stephen Colbert, and here's what we found out. He said, I won't be doing the new show in character, so we'll all get to find out how much of him was me. I'm looking forward to it. So it's nice to hear. He's just going to be himself, and I really think that is the only way it could have worked, but it certainly would have been an interesting experiment. About getting the job in general, here's what Stephen said. Simply being a guest on David Letterman's show has been a highlight of my career. I never dreamed that I would follow in his footsteps, though everyone in late night follows Dave's lead. He also added this, I'm thrilled and grateful CBS chose me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go grind a gap in my front teeth. Little reference to Dave's Grill. But the big question, Mike, in addition to, you know, was he going to do his show in character on CBS, is why did CBS rush this announcement? You know, Dave just announced his retirement last week. I am sure Dave had something to do with the fact that this got out now, because I would kind of have thought, out of respect to Dave, let the news settle in and also use that hype. Stephen's name was one that was tossed around quite a bit, right? We were talking about it last week. But still, there was a real building excitement and sort of guessing game going on as to who would replace Dave.
Astute analysis. Yeah, you make a great point there. What about other late-night hosts? As the competition just gets tougher as we go, any reaction from them?
Well, I think they're all happy they didn't add another Jimmy to the mix. But, yeah, we have heard from a few of the late-night hosts, his new competitors. Let me read you a bit of what they're saying. Jimmy Fallon, who, of course, is having huge success as the host of The Tonight Show, saying this, I'd like to welcome the great Stephen Colbert to the network late night and also congratulate him on his new name, Jimmy Colbert. So I guess we could have another Jimmy. Jimmy Kimmel, of course, the host of Jimmy Kimmel Live on ABC. He wrote, congratulations to Stephen Colbert, a finer or funnier man, I do not know. And, of course, this means production's going to shut down at Comedy Central's The Colbert Report, but taking the high road, let me read to you what the folks at Comedy Central tweeted out today. They said, we look forward to the next 8 months of the groundbreaking Colbert Report and wish Stephen the very best. Now, it's interesting that they said 8 months. No final date for Dave's show is being officially announced yet, and no start date for Stephen Colbert is announced yet somebody chose to put a timetable in from Comedy Central saying 8 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that tells you maybe early 2015. And if they didn't wait for the announcement, they're not going to wait that long to get his show up and rolling. Fallon, Kimmel, and Colbert soon to come. All right, AJ, good seeing you. Thanks so much, my friend.